Chapter 3. Ben's Story. Philip ended his story, and all was quiet. They all knew if they had told anyone else their story, they would have been the laughingstock of anywhere. They only believed each other for a few precious reasons. Number 1, they all had similar stories. Number 2, they would never lie to each other. Number 3, they told each other all on the same day.
Man, this has got to be some sort of strange coincidence,
said Scott. Or this was all planned out. Well, said Ben, I guess it's my turn then. There was a moment of awkward silence, as if Ben was thinking of what to say. Well, Philip finally said. Shush, said Ben, thinking. All right, I got it, Ben said. The others leaned forward, intent on hearing the story. Ben was nervous. Scott and Philip's stories were awesome, but he had to tell it now. Come on, lunch period's almost over, said Scott. All right, Ben said one last time, and this is the story he told them. Ben walked into his house, ready to face the excitement ahead of him. He had been waiting for this day his entire life. Stop it! It was the day he could go to the neighboring park all by himself. Exactly the day after he turned 13, which was yesterday, he would pack up and go to this park. Now, this was no ordinary park. It was huge. The largest park in the Tri-County area. Kind of huge. The 3 playgrounds, 6 basketball court, and a 5-acre forest. Kind of huge. And to Ben, a 5-acre forest meant only one thing. Nature hikes. Ben loved the outdoors. He spent most of his time in his yard studying plants and animals, lying in the grass or just running willy-nilly. As he walked out towards the park, he thought of all the wonderful things he would do. Nature hiking, basketball, tennis, and the list went on and on. First, he thought to himself as he entered through the park's stony gates, I'll go on the Challenger Trail, then to the tennis courts. It would be useless to say everything he thought because he never ended up doing any of it. He first ate a quick snack. Then he was off. He walked to the hardest, roughest trail he could do. It was covered with boulders and logs. As he walked, the sounds of balls bouncing and conversations faded. He looked at the animals along the trails. Chipmunks, squirrels, rabbits. They were common. He even saw a couple of foxes and a doe. He kept walking until he came to a steep cliff about 10 feet vertical. There was a ladder leading down to it, and he started walking. He was walking down and was almost halfway when his foot slipped on the exact wrong place. He fell off the ladder, and for what seemed to be forever, he hit the ground. Finally, and rolled to decrease the impact. He rolled right onto a tree, and there was a loud crack. Ben stood up. The wind knocked out of him. In the most unfortunate of situations, Ben heard, to his dismay, the sound of cracking wood, for the tree he had rolled into was weak. The sound was like 2 trains of rotten wood crashing. Ben, by natural instinct, bent down and covered his head for his hands, waiting for his doom. But it did not come. The sound stopped. There was nothing terrifying, no tunnel, no pearly gates, just the inside of Ben's closed eyelids. He opened them and looked up. The tree seemed to be suspended in midair above him. Ben stepped out from under it, confused. He now saw a giant red claw-tipped arm holding up the tree. It now dropped it safely. It swiftly disappeared into a forest. He heard a quiet rustling sound as whatever it was hurried away. Ben decided he should follow it. He did so, seeking a dark silhouette running through the plants. He finally came to a large clearing with a canopy of leaves overhead, casting a green light on the clearing. He saw the silhouette behind a tall, dense growth of brush. He slowly walked towards it and pushed it away. He nearly jumped out of his skin. There was a huge, scaly dragon, as if we didn't see this before in the previous chapters of the book, of the same color of the arm that had the tree, standing right there in front of a huge hole. Ben was terrified. The dragon looked more threatening than anything he'd ever seen. He stared into the creature's eyes, but he did not see a threat. He saw fear in the dragon's expression. Did you